welcome. Tuelimishwe kwa maswala ya jamii, tutumbuizwe sana mbalimbali, tujuze juu ya matukio ya kila pembe, wapa burudani kwa familia nzima.
Hi, my name is Likuyani, and today I am bringing you this program called Rich Man's Problem. Shida za matajiri. Why shida za matajiri? Because most of the time, rich people or people who are perceived to be rich seem not to understand the type of problems that the normal mwananchi will actually go through. Case in example, I'm gonna give that, and for everybody that is joining, we are streaming onto the Arts in Heart fans page, and of course on Likuyani Eli, and that is the Arts in Heart on YouTube. So if you're watching, let me know where you're watching us from among those three, because I'm unable to tell if you are on the page, rather on the fans group, if you're watching this. So let me know and indicate your name. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the rich man versus poor man problem. Just to help me out, there's this young man called Fadhili Tulia. If you guys have heard one of the best singers I know that are doing something called Omutibo kind of music, is Fadhili. And Fadhili tells me, Aki pesa. What about money? Let's just find out in a moment, and then we can go we can proceed with this. Just let me get this. Okay, feature wapi. I hope it's here. Let's find out if it's here. Okay, fine. It's there. Let's see. There we go. Let's go. Pesa inatesa watu. So I had this friend who called me and told me, Eli, I just came from holiday and I'm having some extra weight on me, so I need to hit the gym. I look at them, Kawambia, I think you have rich man's problem, because your problem is not the weight. It's probably they have too much food at your disposal. Because there are people who will never take weight. Look at some of us, the way we look. We will never take in weight, because where do you have time and energy to take in weight if you have to struggle with some things? I'll give you a case in example. There is the issue to deal with, if you have to go to work. Nataka kwenda job, wewe ndio huyo asubuhi. For a rich guy, he has to think about which car is going to drive to work. And if he's going to drive a Ferrari today or Lamborghini the other day or whatever they call them, he has the choice depending on the mood and the preference of that day. Ama bile whether iko on that particular day. But on the other hand, some people who use Subaru, you have to run to the bus stop and get work. I have this white employer who told me, hey Eli, how come you always early to work? And when every time they're giving appraisals, wakianza kupeana sifa, wanasema Eli, wewe ndio unakuwaga wa kwanza kila siku. The trick is I never get to work because I want to be the earliest one at work. If I miss that morning bus, which apparently gets to work at about 6:40 in the morning, I'll have to wait until the 7:40 bus to take me home, to take me to work. So at the end of the day, you find that you are not able to get to work later than that, and you're not allowed to. So ideally, I have to run. The guy always say, my neighbor the other day was telling me, oh, Eli, it's like you Kenyan people, you are very sportive, you're running to work. That's very cool of you. And the inside, nashanga, mtu angejua shida niko nayo pesa. They wouldn't be talking about what they're talking, because you have to run, not because you are athletic. You are running because at the end of the day, you need to get to work on time. And if you miss that bus, kwisha. So mimi ndio huyo. Na hizo viatu za jeshi. nakimbilia basi, then you are getting to the bus stop, your heart is burning out because apparently you've not been exercising for too long. So these things are becoming new as you adjust to the new conditions. Thanks to Rona. Rona decided that it's gonna treat people differently. There are people who made money during that period. There are people who actually lost money, and there are people who lost their sense of being who they are, to the value that most of these people, they have put their money, like their cash flow, it's dependent on how much salary they earn at the end of the month. So unapata jamaa kama hana job yenye inakuja, jamaa anakula ngumu, So what do I do? Run to the bus stop, take the bus, and bam, I'm at work. Unaambiwa meet up time, it's 7, you are always there at 6:40, so una get all the appraisals. Oh, this, I know African people never keep time. African people will never keep time, but this one is always on time. The trick is not that I'm always on time. The trick is, Buddha, if I miss on that bus, wisha. And that's why when a friend of mine tells me that they cannot, they have to go to the gym to lose weight, I'm looking at them like, what gym? Let's exchange roles for 1 minute. You see, if your luxury is the fact that you're taking weight because you went on a holiday, let's exchange those roles. Wewe sasa ukue ndio unabaki kwa nyumba ukienda hustle, mimi bottom up economy niende ni enjoy hii pesa umetengeneza, because all you need is to change the role for a minute ndio uone vile utakonda. See, for a normal guy, and when I mean normal, it's normal in terms of how much money you earn at the end of the day and how much income you are able to bring in when the sun goes down. There are people who count their money in terms of seconds, like, this second I earned this and that. The other day we had Jibudi Chibude say, oh, kwa kila sekundi mimi napata alfu tatu sabasini na kitu kama hicho, and you're like, Jamaa, what kind of world does he exist in? Anyway, to bring it into context, people might never, and when I talk about people, I'm talking about the well-off, they might never understand why some disease God never brought to people like us. People like us, yani watu wa kawaida. Ugonjwa kama pressure haiwezi kushika kama wewe you do not belong to a certain class. And this is not in any way trying to water down what people might be going through because of their health condition, but this more on lighter note, so no pun intended though. So take the story and not particularly the feelings behind it. Okay, so una get jamaa is there, amechapwa pressure ni ugonjwa ya watu wa pesa, because by the time you're treating pressure, maskini, pressure yenye uko nayo ni ya nini kama sio air pressure? Umekula maharagwe imekuchanganyikia, air pressure ndio uko nayo peke yake. The rest of the pressure is none of your business, because you will never have it. Rhoda says, I wanted to ask, are you always on time? Hajawahi oversleep ukamiss basi? Never, because if you ever tried miss that bus, you are done. Your story is as good as done. So at the end of the day, you must keep time. Rhoda Kipro, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. And then you find, wewe kama maskini, your choices are limited on what you're gonna eat and what time you can eat. Now, there are this other crop of people I don't understand. They have this tiny glass. I wish I had an assistant on set to help me show you that kind of glass. Ati anakunywa kahawa, na hiyo kahawa atakunywa kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni, amekunywa kahawa 2-3. And you are there, you are wondering, mtu si anipatie plastiki ile ya kasuku, nionyeshe vile watu kunywa chai kwanza ukiwa Kakamega, thermos moja peke yako, na msisumbuane na mtu. No arguments. So these people will be drinking their coffee and then there's a cookie there, but there's a worse part of it. Have you ever gone to the shop and you're wondering, they are queuing, and as they are queuing and doing their shopping, they are looking for cheese. There is cheese for the spaghetti, there is cheese for their wine, there is cheese for their just to put in the oven as they are making something. There's a name there, but it just skipped my mind for a moment. They call it tanti or something of that sort. And at the end of the day, how do you
You know, cheese, for those that are aware, it's a product that is created after, you know, the milk has been done, all those kind of processes. And why go through all that hassle of changing milk into that other thing, whereas you can just drink the milk now, you have the cheese and everything included. And thank you, was for Derek, who tells me I'm here. Yes, so these are some of the things they will never affect uncommon. You know, there are some people who have been misusing that word hustler back in the country I come from, and they're saying everybody's a hustler nowadays. People who have money, they are calling themselves hustlers. But that's a story we look at another day. Now, have you ever gone to the village ukapata uncle wako wa Nairobi amekuja? Wa Nairobi. Alafu kuna ule uncle mwenye akwanga mtaani. And then to make even the segregation more worse, if there's a word that like that in English, they will have their segment, unajua, the high table. Hizo ni times za Christmas. Wewe ukikuja unaulizwa maswali rahisi, utatumia kinywaji gani? What will you have for your dinner tonight? They even improve their language and tonation on how they speak to you. Ukisema ni kuku utakula on that day, Kipto, kuja hapa. Ile training tulikupeleka miaka yote uende London, hakuna gold medal utuletea. Kuja hapa. Alafu mama Chemu anakuja, na uimaliza tengelezea mursik. Now, wacha turudi kwa Waluya. Kuku imekuwa kwa mtaa, kuku inajua shimo zote. You know, it knows all the holes of the family. Inajua ukienda hapa kwa fence kuna kashimo, nimeruka nimeenda huko kufanya mambo yangu, I'm back. You go the other side, inarudi inaanza inajua, kuku inajua boma. Kuku iko na map ya akili ya boma, maligeti iko where the hind of the side of the boma, gate ya kutoka nje. And then unaambiwa, Eli, shika hiyo kuku. Now, this kuku has been training all its life for that last day. Wewe ndio huyo na kuku. Na wale ankoa Nairobi na cousins wa Nairobi wako busy, wanafanya shopping Naivas, wameenda kununua vitu za maana. Wameenda kuleta soda, wameenda kuleta ile juice, wanasema they like it natural. Nowadays there's some things, if Fifi Parts was here will telling I'm going natural, I'm eating healthy for my diet this, for my diet that. Wewe unakimbiza kuku, kati ya kuku na wewe mnaulizana nani atakufa wa kwanza. Kuku ndio hiyo imepita katikati ya miguu imeenda, you cannot find that chicken. That's the kind of job you are given. Meanwhile, your cousin from Nairobi is enjoying, you know, oh, grandma, there is a lot of fresh air in the village. Wewe fresh air unajua ni kuchomea watu kuku, kutoa matumbo kwa kuku, alafu peleka the juicy and fleshy parts to the table, and then invite your cousins from Nairobi to enjoy. Meanwhile, wewe frigisi na ile ingine ndio yako na miguu. Kuku imekanyaga nje, literally hata miguu yake saa ina nyama, it's just some scales retaining there, making it to survive. So at the end of the day, that is the kind of society we live in. But who am I to judge? At the end of the day, pesa inaongea. Akipesa. Pesa munatutesa. Whoever created money and decided the money was going to be the difference between rich and poor, they say God made money. I'm doubting that statement. How could God be so unfair? You know, you are seated there, you are wondering where you're going to get your next meal. Alafu huyo cousin wako mwenye ametoka Nairobi. Leo niko na shida na ma cousins wa Nairobi. Huyo cousin wako mwenye ametoka Nairobi, they are there using that chicken that you are chasing the whole day, making sure that it is the delicacy of the night, wanamwaga supu. No, they refuse to give you that stew to enjoy, or that broth to enjoy, and then wanamwaga supu. Ati, shosho, this is too liquid dish. Cousins for Nairobi, I'm preparing you in advance. You are too much. You are too much. The energy that Elias decided to put into it, kufuata hiyo kuku, kona, tumeenda all the training, alafu unamwaga supu. Ati the soup is too waterish. Rudini Nairobi kwenyu. Anyway, Gilbert Makomere says, God made man, and man made money, and money made the world go mad. Thank you so much. And then Pipi says, tabu sana. Aki siwezi imagine Eli ukitoka ndu. Wacha nikwambie story ya kutoka mbio nituambie. It's a true story. It's a true story. It might not seem like one, but it's a true one. Being in Europe has shown me a lot of things. Things that I never imagined exist. Things that I never imagined exist. But then when you paint the picture back at home, it is the same story. Watu wa pesa, I was told, ukitaka kujua who has money in that family that you come from and who smells like money, there are a few things. Invite them for a drink. You have that uncle of yours that all of a sudden their English improves. All of a sudden. They never stepped in any linguistic school, but all of a sudden their English becomes that of the Queen's land. Then that is one part of the uncle. Mwenye kizungu kuja from nowhere. All of a sudden they are well educated. They can spit words that look like English. And the pronunciation will amaze you. And the way they articulate themselves as they stagger, as they walk around. Unaanza kusikia jumbe, nipeleke kwetu jumbe. Nimechoka sana, sina pa kulala. You know, my son, when I was your age, all of a sudden, all of you become his son, and his age becomes of importance in the conversation. But that aside, there's then another uncle of yours. Those ones that now they have smelled the money that has come from Nairobi. Because you know, these people that are supposed to be well off in the society, they have some sort of liquor they partake. Si yenyu konyagi, unachapa konyagi, unaanza kusweat, all of a sudden unaanza kushikiana panga, nitaua mtu kwa hii boma, nitaua mtu kwa hii boma, mtajua mimi ni nani. I'm not talking about that kind of drink. I'm talking about the kind of drink you say like a gentleman and you partake. And you know, you reminisce over what kind of young life you had in your days. And you say, hey, bro, you know, that investments I was talking to you about, and we just cleared one of the, you know, one of the containers, and soon enough we're expecting to have 2 or 3 of them coming through, and we believe you're going to make a markup of about $1 million plus, and then that gives us another 2 million in profit. Those are the conversation of people who partake of drinks that have character. Na sijasema konyagi ni mbaya, lakini kuna aina za konyagi. Chang'aa si konyagi, na kama ni konyagi iko na konyaginess yake. So those kind of uncles, they will never get drunk on beer because beer is not in their class. They will never get drunk on wine because hizo vitu ni kama appetizer kwao. Wine ni appetizer. Ikipita kwa mdomo, they now need a full charge. So they will order for that nearest mama, unajua mama nitilie in the area. Changa imekorogwa ika, you know, it's boiling, and then they harvest the steam, which is now condensed back into the liquor. And then the way they drink it, it's even more amazing. You know, when you partake of something that has class and something that complements your health, you enjoy. It goes down all the way and you enjoy. But now there's this other drink that people drink and then they go, unajitesa ama unakunywa pombe? Pombe inatakana ikuwe starehe. Kama ni pombe, pombe inatakana unaekelea mguu juu ya ingine na unafikiria vile unajijenga. Now this kind of other drinks that those our second other uncles of the village partake to make them feel like now they belong, and all of a sudden they can face their elder brothers. Wanambia, hii boma mumetutesa sana, mtatuachia. Na kama mtuachie, kuna mtu atakufa kwa hii boma, mtu atakufa kwa hii boma. Those kind of uncles, there are clear indication what money can or cannot do. Now, the luxury of the problems of people of money, as I said, they decide what goes into their bodies. But then again, wewe Shidiakhala uko pale kambi ya Mwanza, umekaa hivi, you are thinking nikule ugali na mrenda ama nikule ugali na chumvi. Those are your options. You are in between those options. Now, this other uncle who has the house of it in the world comes in, and now they have to choose between sausage, they have to choose between bacon, and they are telling you, I have eggs. And then how do you want your eggs? I want them, not so well done. That's rather the meat, not so well done, as you do it on the barbecue and enjoy, vile imetengenezwa. Wewe uko pale unasema, sasa mutura yangu nitakula saa ngapi? Mutura yangu nitakula saa ngapi? Now, mutura is not supposed to be a classification of where you belong. No. Don't get me wrong again. And I said all pun intended. Don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to say is, sometimes the kinds of association you take with yourself tend to define the kind of person you are. When people are seated, wewe uko na boys kwa mtaa, when you arrive on the table of men, how do you tell hauna kakitu? Wewe kwa hiyo group ndio hauna. Among them, you are the least profitable member of the clan. How do you tell you are that person? One, wewe simu ikilia unaambiwa, ebu angalia ni nani ananipigia simu. Now, kama ni simu ya kusumbua kama watu kama wewe, because the question and the wording they will start with, nilikuwa nasema. Now you will have to realize they will not return that call, because they are trying to enjoy their moment with the boys. Now, if you happen again to be on that table of the men and you are the loudest, now hujanunua one of the drinks that is on the table, please know your class. Tuko pamoja? Know your class. If you are on that table of men and you are the loudest and you didn't buy even a round of them, and wewe ndio unapigia watu story, watu wakikusikiza, people are laughing at you rather not at what you're saying, you have to check. Number two, if by bad luck one of the boys that is supposed to be calling shots tells you, please go fetch for me mama is waiting for me, go. Wewe ndio mtu wa mkono wa hiyo group. Are we together? Wewe ndio unatumwa kuletea the big boss of the boys club, kuletea yeye mama. Kama by any chance your mama arrives at that hour, you as umemdefine kama mama, and then they tell you, Jontes, Karo amekuja. Kwanza ikuagi hivyo, Jontes, Karo kamekuja. Unaona heshima vile inabadilika, heshima inaanza kupunguka. But when their mama comes, hey boss, nilikuwa nasema madam ako in that area, madam amefika, and you smile too much. Yani una smile mpaka meno inafika kule. Wewe ndio tunaita mtu wa mkono, na pesa yako haifanani na sura yako. Are we together? Now, why is it important to know where you belong in the club? Because rich people's problems will never compare to poor man's problem. I'll be telling you more about these stories as we continue. Meanwhile, nataka tena tusikie ako kawimbo kanasema nini? Ako kawimbo kanasema akipesa. Pesa inatesa vijana. Pesa imeweka vijana kwa kategori ya you do not belong. Noreen says, I feel you Eli. Haki Nairobi cousins. Sisi ndio kwenda maji mtoni. Ati watoto wa anti waoge. Watoto wa anti munatutesa. Ati mwezi oga si mkuja na maji yenyu. You are the kind of people you coming to the village mnatuliza, can I get a bottle of water? Wapi? Sisi tunakunywa maji from mtoni. We take it, partake from the stream. Roda, mmesikia cousins wa Nairobi? Na mkuje mkule kwa amani. Yes, settle in with peace. Because already tumekuchungia kuku, tumekuchungia kila kitu imekuwa sawa. And then you are there wanting to look and feel very important. Please, as we proceed to the next level of this discussion, which will be on Thursday next week, nataka niwalete other forms of when luxury problems or rich man problems, they are none of your problems. At the end of the day, kuna kitu moja we have to remember, that we cannot fault people entirely for how rich they are. Never. Only problem is, ask your father, when your uncle was working hard, where was he? That doesn't mean nobody has a role to play. We must have mtu wa kushika hiyo kondo. Inasumbua. Kwanza upate kondo yenye nitakana ichinjwe ama mbuzi, na ndio kinapiga kelele. Jiangalie wewe na hiyo mbuzi mko wapi? Are you levelizing? Are you doing personally, or you are not? As you discover that, you realize that we all have a role to play at the end of the day. The question is, what is your role and how well are you playing your role? Ama kama ni ng'ombe Kipro, kama ni ng'ombe na imefungwa kamba na inaenda kichinjio, wewe ni ng'ombe aina gani? Wewe ni ng'ombe ya grade, or you are the normal ng'ombe, as we call it, bora zinakamuliwa. At the end of the day, wewe furahia ng'ombe yako, kila mtu afurahie ng'ombe yake, but usikamue ng'ombe mwingine mpaka ishe maziwa, ikose kitu ya kukupea kesho, ukose cheese ya kukula. Matajiri, are we together? Having said that, I wish to see you on another day right here on Heart and Heart, as we talk about shida za matajiri. In real sense, we are actually talking about shida za maskini. Before I sign out, tomorrow night we'll be having the creative space, and there's one man alienda Nairobi kamuonyesha yeye hajaona chochote. Find out.
I came to Nairobi for the first time in my life after campus, after campo. Nikitembelea auntie yangu fulani here and there, but officially I came after campus. And one thing that I told myself deep down, nilijiambia huko ndani, I have never seen women. I have not been seeing women. The women are here.
So go to Nairobi, enjoy yourself, and remember, money makes the world go round and round and round, but it's too tight to mention. See you next week.
That